Good afternoon, panelists. My name is Dante. This is Matthew. This is Chad, and we'd like to introduce you to our company, Waste Terminators.
All right, so our United Nations Sustainable Goal, the goal of our project is sustainable cities and communities. We plan to meet this goal by tackling the problem of waste management. Why we choose sustainable cities and communities? This definition, well, according to SDG Academy, this definition of sustainable cities and communities was the best fit for Waste Terminators. It makes perfect sense to our solution on wanting to reduce waste and pollution to keep our community safe and clean.
What is waste? Waste may be generated after extraction of raw materials and the processing of raw materials into intermediate and final products. The consumption of the final materials and other human activities, residuals recycled, leads to, hold on, we're having technical difficulties. Okay, we're back. Recycled or reused at place of generation are excluded. Hazardous waste. Some examples of hazardous waste is hampers, plastic, uneaten foods, used medical equipment, and disposable masks.
Our survey research. We conducted a survey with residents of East New York asking what they know about pollution. Our target audience, we want to start our company locally in East New York first before we expand to other parts of the city so we can see how our company changes our community for the better. That's why our survey went to our local community. Do you know what pollution is? In our survey, 88% of East New Yorkers know what pollution is. Do you know how pollution works? 74% of East New Yorkers have the idea of how pollution works. Do you know places that have high pollution? 68% of East New Yorkers know places that have high pollution. Do you understand how pollution affects your community? As a result from our pie chart, it shows a majority of East New Yorkers know how pollution affects our community. What are the main causes of pollution? Our top 3 responses were wrong waste disposal, motor vehicles, and the use of fossil fuels.
We made a video showing what we have to walk past going to anywhere in East New York, and here it is. This is some of the stuff that we walk past every day in East New York. And frankly, Waste Terminators is tired of it. That's why we're here to stop it. This shows exactly what we have to walk past every day in East New York when we have to go anywhere. And Waste Terminators wants to change this so it doesn't happen anymore. This is some of the stuff that we walk past.
So, in our survey, we asked how we can prevent pollution. Our main responses were switching to renewable energy and using more electric vehicles. How is America affected by waste? The natural resources that the United States needs to use to sustain their population will most likely end up in a landfill. How is New York affected by waste? How could you stand 6 feet away, enjoy outdoor dining, and support food vendors when there are piles of garbage lying around on the sidewalk in your way? We did research to compare waste consumptions in New York versus waste consumptions in America. New York's waste consumption. What stands out? Only 17% of New York City residents recycle, and the rest of the waste goes into landfills. What's startling here? 292.4 million tons of waste is produced every day.
The US alone is one of the biggest polluters in the world. And the only way we change that is if we all take our piece of the pie and change our ways. I say it's time for us to take action and make a change for the better.
That's where we come in. Waste Terminators.
We are waste terminators.
Waste Terminators is a startup company that awards recycling services to eliminate waste and reuse it to create useful materials that will. The way we work, clients contact us, and when we get the clients to contact us, we then send out independent contractors that pick up the plastic or anything that they have that they want to get rid of, and then the contractors take it to recycling centers.
Well, what we do, customers contact us about their waste. Sorry. What we do, customers contact us about their waste. They pay us, and then we reach out to our independent contractors to remove the waste and transport it to the appropriate facility.
How we make money? Very simple. We take a 40% commission as our service fee.
For our future plans, we need to build an app, and that app on every iOS device in 11207 and 11208.
Oh, and those are Android people too. We will have them covered. Our startup costs are very methodical. For the company, create the website and the app, print the flyers, and we give them out to the community.
Americans generate over 250 million tons of garbage every year. Currently, most of this garbage is not recycled or composted, but ends up in landfill and incinerators, polluting the communities where these facilities are located and accelerating our climate crisis. We believe in creating zero waste to keep our community safe and healthy while promoting economic equality. It's a team effort, and we need you. Join us at Waste Terminators, your pollution solution. And now that is our end of our presentation.
Thank you for your time. We will take any questions started.
Thank you very much, Team 4 Dubs Cares, and thank you for including Android users. Definitely appreciate that. Great presentation and bringing everything to the forefront. I'm going to now turn it over to our judges for questions.
Okay, I'll lead. I want to ask the question, how did you guys come up with this concept in regards to this business? Why this business?
We came up with this concept because we just were tired of seeing trash laying around in the street everywhere where we go. If you saw the video, that was just a small portion of what we see every day. With people dumping their trash on the sidewalk, just littering everywhere. And we want to change it. We don't want to see that anymore.
Hi, Shakina, you all did phenomenal. And I have two questions for you. I love what made it phenomenal. Let me just expand upon that. Is that you moved out of Brooklyn to New York to the USA. So then you gave this whole concept, which I truly enjoyed. But two questions. Do you have partnerships in Brooklyn already to be that conduit for these waste management companies you're talking about?
Right now, we are working on it. We don't have anything set yet, but we're working on it.
We have a partnership with NERC, which is Northeast Recycling Council. So that's where we're trying to get help from.
That was perfect. And do you have any idea if there are any composting waste management companies in that zip code or in the city of New York?
Yeah, East New York. The zip code is for the community of East New York. So basically, East New York Farms is one thing.
Okay. Thank you, fellas. Thank you. I enjoyed it. I just want to chime back in again. So East New York happens to be the area that I work out of, and your community board president is a good friend of mine. I'm just a little concerned. I want to know more about your model, right? And then just giving you more information, because you guys are also activists. It is just so profound. The reason why I asked you the question about how you came up with the idea, because it seems as though it was a passion of yours. So you guys are community activists, and I would love for you to learn more about the nonprofit sector, right? And how you could obtain funding. Because trying to get contracts may be very difficult in the beginning, but partnering with other organizations that fight to improve the environment could be extremely helpful for you guys. So with this particular business plan, I want you to tighten it up, make sure you have everything together. And I would love to see you present it to the community board, right? And we could arrange through DYCD to get you in front of them to present your idea for them to potentially help you create a business model that could work for you and also the community.
All right, thank you very much for that advice.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. That was great. I may be aging myself, but I love this business idea because when I was in college, I remember junk luggers. So we remember it started out with like a group of students in college. They would drive by the dorms and they would see a lot of trash and they just created this business. So I don't have a question, but I do want to piggyback off Dr. Davis, this idea of partnering. Like as somebody who has gotten into work where I've had to acquire contracts and do a lot of like my own outreach, it may not be the best direction to go in based on the business model that you guys have. So maybe partnering and definitely looking into the city and seeing who else is doing this work that can take you under their shadow to kind of help build you up and expand as you grow. So great work.
Yes, and I want to piggyback off that as well. Someone who also works out in East New York, Brownsville, this is an issue that I know is really important to the community. I'm thinking also how you can expand this to thinking about activism in schools to get to change the mindset of youth in our community to really start making that change. To sustainability, this is a long-term thing and a huge issue. I'm also thinking, yes, we thought about the United States, but looking to international, other cities. I'm thinking about Toronto in particular, who actually has an infrastructure built in for composting. I don't know if you've done research in looking at other models outside the US who already have much more sustainable composting things already built into their sanitation and garbage disposal systems.
Was that a question?
When my internet cut out.
Was that a question?
Oh, have you looked at other international cities to look at their models of sustainability and waste management?
No, not as yet, because we only want to focus on our community first.
Mm-hmm. And I only suggest that as to hone in on your business model to see what other cities are doing, because there are some forward cities like Toronto, Vancouver that are doing some of this work already in their communities.
All right, and as a future, we will look upon that for future waste terminators as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you again so much, judges, for your feedback.